Hey everyone, Steve 87th here. Back from travels and other things that have been happening. Life has been quite a busy. I haven't really done a lot on building things and stuff like that. I did just paint up some Matchbox trucks. I was going to take the wheels off and redo them, but I looked at the wheel sets and I went, the outer set of the wheels are fine. It's just that they don't look like treads, but otherwise the trucks look pretty good on themselves. So, like I said, I've been out and about. So let's see what I've been doing and some of the things that I picked up while I've been around. So my first stop was Gdansk, Poland, where it actually was where World War II actually started, where they have a big museum for World War II, which we went through, and lots of different buildings. Gdansk is on the waterfront and in the waterways. In a lot of ways, the whole city was destroyed during World War II, but it's been being rebuilt for the last couple of years and all that. And lots of tourism and stuff like that happens in the city. So it's kind of a neat place to go to. So it was kind of fun for a couple of days. Once I finished there, I had to go down to Germany, down in the southern portion of it, where we were up in the mountainsides over by Switzerland. Had to do some work at a small company down there that does some stuff. So we went there, and on our way back, going into Munich, we stopped by, I can't pronounce the name of the castle. Anthony probably could, but it's basically the castle that was based off of, that Disney based its castle off of. So we were able to stop in there and then went and stayed overnight in Munich because it was a lot closer to the airport. And I was able to get to the Station 11 or Platform 11 train station there, the model hobby shop, which was really, really cool. Anthony, I'm sure, probably loves it in there. But for me, yeah, it was kind of lacking anything that I wanted. Went back to Poland, took some train ride down to the seaside for the day. And that was kind of what I did, just hit the beach, looked around a little bit and all, and then came back. I did have a chance to go and do some model shopping. We have a bunch of stuff laying on my desktop, which I'm going to go through and show you guys kind of some of the things I've picked up, some of the things that came in over the last couple of days, or actually probably a couple of months since I've talked to you guys again. So let's go ahead and dive into these boxes and see what we got. So while I was in Poland, I found a hobby shop in a shopping mall that I went to actually a couple of times to get some of this stuff. They have a company there called Ohagan. I'm sure, again, I pronounced that wrong. I'm not exactly sure where they're out of. Oh, made in Germany. But it looks like it's more of an Eastern Germany, but it also may be like discount Pricer and Bush type things and all that. So one of the big things is the price. So the prices there were amazing. So this says 9,200, which is in Polish dollar or however they call their dollars. But it's only like a third of the United States. So this was about, it was less than $30. I know that. Most of these were really, really cheap. So this is just a curb set that gives you different curbs and gutter lines and things like that, as well as gives you manhole covers and gratings and all that. I thought it would be kind of fun to use some of these things. So as a setup for like a, development or something like that. They also had this, I was interested in this, it's a freezer set. And it's all emergency equipment for the fire department and all that. So I thought that was really kind of cool. It's got quite a few like air bottles and things like that, as well as lots of jaws of life and all. So that'll come in handy. There was also this track kit, which I found pretty interesting. If you can see here, it's got some of the different tools that they use, smaller tools, hand tools and stuff. And that wasn't too bad. I mean, so you can see here the setup that it has. It has some railroad ties, the shovels, the wheelbarrows, and even those little carts and things like that. So that's kind of cool for some maintenance away things. Some blowers that I got for the sides of buildings and things like that. Makes it kind of look nice. So I got just a lot of little things. This was interesting for not too much money. You guys can see. I got 2 bridges, which they're like 40, 50-foot spans for track with the guardrails on them. So they're more or less modern, but they're really nice and thin and not highly detailed, but that's fine. Just a little bit of work up to them, and you got some nice bases to put some track on. Also found some more shelving for pallets and things like that to work with. So you can see they have both the closed and open, and it looks like they come with a bunch of boxes and all that. Who couldn't use that in warehouses? But what I really liked was I got a bunch of people. So I got some more construction area things, shovels and rakes and stuff like that. Right, and these are actually the notch figures, the Noke figures. Got some people sitting around, so I'll probably use those for truck drivers and all. They're doing some things. I got some no-leg people for sitting in cars and or train cars or whatever. I got some outdoor yard guys, which is kind of fun for a change. A little something different. They're all doing weed whacking and cleaning up and all. So that's kind of good for maintenance away and or parks and rec. And then I also got an ambulance scene. Okay. So this whole pile here, all of these little things and all that, all of the peoples and the bodies and all was less than $200 a US. So to me, I think that's a really, really good bargain. There's a lot of things that I got. These are usually going for a lot more than that. These come out to be about $15 to $20 a box, where they're normally $20 to $30 a box. So I was pretty happy with that. The train shop in Germany, I only got one thing just because I felt I was there and I should get something. So I got this hand-operated roller from Bush, and because it was in euro, it was about the same price or so as it would be in the United States. So the only maybe a little bit cheaper, but I didn't really see it as good enough for me to buy a whole bunch of more things. The one thing that I was looking for, the tunnel boring machine, they didn't have it in stock. They had half of it, so that didn't quite work for me. So that was my Poland and German expedition and all the things that I got while I was there. So let's move on to what else we got. Okay, found a few more boxes. So this is a 3D printed item that I got not too long ago. It is meant to be a suction system for, what do you call those? For like pellets and things like that, like what Jack works with. It would be the suction system in the tank and all of the loading things and all that. I know I'm going to have a plastics place that makes things, so I thought I would go ahead and get this. I got this off the internet, I think, and it wasn't that expensive, so it's kind of a good little thing to have since I'm going to build one. I have sort of one on my layout, but it didn't really work that well. I got some Switchline decals, was having a sale on decals, so I got some more PSAP decals and something else. I forget what else is in here that I got, but they were on sale, so I went and got a bunch of them. Oh, I know what it was. I got some tank car decals as well to do up some of my tank cars, I think, or I don't know if they're tank or regular cars. But I got the PSAP stickers, more for my train engines. And then these are, so 4,700 foot covered hopper general type ones, just so I could put them on there. This is for the auto racks. I got a couple of auto racks I could relabel, so I got a couple of those. because they're kind of blank and or they're old or whatever. So wanted to make sure I had some items to go with. The only problem was with the PSAPs, I was hoping that these would be small enough for a truck. But if you look at a truck side, yeah, I guess that would work. Those could work on there, the N scale ones for the smaller. We'll see. I only have a couple of trucks, so that'll work fine. So even if it's a little bit too big, it'll work. All right, having problems getting these back in, of course, because nothing ever comes out of the bags the way that it goes in. I had some lights that I found that were on sale, so I got some of those. I got this Pixie spray. It's a light tack repositional adhesive for stencils. I'm hoping that when I'm doing some spray painting of parts and things like that, that I could spray down the cardboard or whatever the wood is that I'm using, and then be able to tack the pieces down so that they don't fly all over the place when I'm doing spray painting. Okay. This I got from Atlas. All right, it's a bunch of piece parts, as well as brake systems and so forth. I don't know if you guys can see that. But they're for my nuclear train, my munitions train, or the booster rocket train, I believe it is. Yeah, it's the boosters for my military train. So when I was looking at it and all, I didn't have the items to be able to do the hand grabs. So I just decided, you know what, instead of having to do all of that and making it hard, I would just get some of the ladders and things like that that already come with it, along with the end sides. Plus I did need the handles and all that, so I'll just be able to put those on. I think a lot easier than dealing with trying to do hand grabs. So that's kind of my cheat on that one. Yeah, they're not going to be brass, but hey, I can do what I want because it's my railroad, right? I also got a couple more fire engines, a couple of ladder trucks. I wanted to be able to get some, these were really cheap, was the reason that I bought them, because I wanted to use them for some sacrificial type stuff. And I want to see if I can get the ladder to work a little bit better, and then also see about putting lights in these. So these were not really the ones that I wanted to use as a collector, but I think I paid like $25 for the two of them. So that's a pretty good shot for me. So I could always take these apart, do some work with them and all that kind of stuff, make them non-New York fire trucks and use them as regular fire trucks. So that's that box that I found, those two boxes. I have some mini print. I think this might just be mini print of the month, or is this some of the mini prints I got? No, there's nothing in the mini print box. Okay, I think that was my mini prints of the month box, which I've had a couple of those, obviously, since the last time I talked to you guys. I've been working on them. I always find that it's really hard to do some of the mini prints. One of the things I find that I don't like to do is people. Not a big people person when it comes to doing the painting. I don't know why. I just don't think I do a very good job on it. So that's one of the reasons why I got all those people, because I found that I don't really like doing them. So, and then lastly, this is from Diecast Direct, and this has been on back order for a long time. So this is the first opening that you guys are seeing. Some PCX cars. Okay, that's all they got in there. So I want to see what ones we got here. So the first one is, this is just a green Mustang, which came out to be really nice. Those are a nice looking car. That's kind of fun. Yep, okay, good. Okay, the next one I got was just a Jeep. Yep, a black Jeep Cherokee. I've got some other Jeep Cherokees from around this time frame. This one kind of looked nice, especially since it's got all the gold. But the one thing that I was curious on, because they didn't show a good picture of it when I bought this, was the General Lee. So the car looks really nice, nice orange colors and all that kind of stuff. And what really tops it off, because I saw it before you guys did, was they actually put the Confederate flag on it. So it's not like the cars that they're doing now where, oh my God, we've got to worry about the Confederate flag, because the real car had the Confederate flag on the top. Not that I'm a Confederate flag type freak. It's just I wanted the car the way that it was in the show, and that's the way it was in the show. So, so that came in. So those are my other 3 buys that I got while I was away. Other than that, I've just, like I said, I've worked on this Matchbox, did some detail painting on there. It needs a dull coat. I also need to fix up the tires. This one I did replace the tires with some River Point Station tires. Replaced the ones that came on here because they look too much like toys. Did some detail painting on here and on the lights and the front grille and the bumper, so that makes it kind of the right size. And if you want to see a size comparison of this to other HO scale things, we have the police car. I don't have a pickup truck right handy, but it's in about the same vein. It's a decent size. It should be a little bit bigger because it is a truck. And let me see. I've got an HO scale truck here. And this is a River Point Station Ford. So you can see that it pretty much matches. It just looks like it's a little bit bigger. I guess I didn't put, I don't know what tires I've got on here then. These must be big truck tires, because the River Points are a lot smaller. I think this is actually an Atlas. This might be the Atlas version of it. I can't tell. But I guess I could put the smaller tires on there if I wanted to. This one was, the bad thing about Matchboxes is in order to get everything apart, you got to drill out the rivets. But you don't want to drill it all the way out, because then you're going to have to use a screw to put it back on. So it's kind of like a little fine line of where to do it at. And the other thing is, because they have to be child-proof when they're riveted, the wheels also are really, really tough to get off. I mean, they're using like better than piano wire almost to use those. So I may wind up switching out the wheels. Maybe. They need to be somewhere in between these 2 sets, and I don't know how you could be able to do that. I might have some smaller wheels around someplace that would work. But that is what I got. That's kind of what's been going on. Again, wish I'd make these a little bit more often, but I haven't been doing enough to actually show you guys any things. But anyway, take care, everybody, and I will catch you guys again. This is Steve87 saying thanks for watching.